Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, does it seem like everything is getting rushed out right now? I mean, you have announcement after announcement, big partnership announced after big partnership. I mean, all these different things happening with a lot of these different utility coins, especially Ripple and XRP. Let's see. Let's turn the light on. Let's see. Now let's turn the light out. But now you have Ripple announcing officially their US dollar backed stable coin. Let's be real. How do you keep this pegged permanently, quote unquote, unlike USDC clearly and other things, other stable coins that can be depegged very easily? You back it with XRP. Listen, there's no way Ripple's sitting on a ton of XRP and they're not thinking of having that in play, but it works both ways. You see, that stable coin will lure a lot of those legacy system actors into Ripple's system. And then what was Brad Garlinghouse promoting the other day? XRP. What did they come out with an ad for, talking about how it was the best? XRP. See, they understand this revolving door. They understand the flow goes both ways. You know, so, I mean, let's read just a little tidbit before I get too excited. So, it begins here. Ripple has officially unveiled Ripple USD, confirming RLUSD as its forthcoming stablecoin trading symbol. This announcement came from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse during his session at the ongoing XRP Ledger Apex Summit. Also present at the session was Ripple CTO David Schwartz. Oh, they brought the powers out. When asked, Garlinghouse revealed that Ripple stablecoin will be named RLUSD, humorously referring to it as the, quote, real US dollar. I like Ripple. They're very petty, you know, because they have this beef with the SEC, which is a part of the government. So to stick it to everybody, they call it the real US dollar. Oh, man, they're funny. Anyway, it says, however, I had a little bit of a laugh. However, let me turn the light back on. What's going on with the clouds outside? It was bright before, right? Clouds are like beaming right. I got this big window behind here. And now it's dark. This light doesn't look right now. Oh, my goodness. What's going on? Turn it back out. Well, we're going to roll with this because I'm not going all the way across the room to hit that other light. This is when asked, Garlinghouse revealed that the Ripple stablecoin will be named RLUSD. Okay. I don't know what I just said. I think I just jumbled the letters, but that's okay. We're going to keep flowing because I'm feeling my energy is coming back a little bit now. Following the revelation from Ripple's chief executive officer, the company formally introduced RLUSD term through its official website and social media accounts. Let's scroll down here. It says, significantly, this announcement follows the company's trademark application for the same name with the U.S. legal database registry Justia a month ago. While the trademark application was still under review, community members stumbled upon the filing and began speculating that RLUS. They stumbled. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You must not know the XRP community. The XRP community, ever since Ripple said they were coming out with a stable coin, probably even before that, just off of rumors, just somebody may have had an idea. There was someone in the XRP community researching that. I'm telling you, they have some of the most consistent detectives on earth. They will dig everything up. They're going to find it. And I love that about the community because I'm telling you, they keep the information coming. I love it. You know, and I do my little part too, but, you know, I humbly bow out of this one here. I give the love and respect to everybody else. It says, while the application detailed that RLUSD would be used for electronic services, specifically for managing virtual currency payments and transfers. Now, keep in mind, so you have this stablecoin, right? But then you have Brad Garlinghouse the other day, and include the ad with that whole XRP ad, where they say XRP is the best, where Brad Garlinghouse the other day was talking about how XRP is the best for cross-border payments. So in that verbiage, he's letting you know directly that stablecoin, it's inferior, but we need it. It doesn't replace XRP, but we need it. It serves a purpose. It's that doorway, I'm telling you. You know, they bring in the legacy system with the stablecoin, and I guess everybody else that wants to utilize stablecoins, so be it. But they acknowledge XRP is the best of the best, and they continue to push XRP everywhere. That I love, that I respect. All right, says, however, as reported by the Crypto Basic, Ripple is unable to use USDX or USDR due to the prior adoption by other entities in the stablecoin market. I don't care what the name is. Just let it serve its purpose. Let's get this going, make the system better, more powerful, bring in more partners, more value. That's more value that could flow through XRP to XRPL. Clearly, there's a relationship. Ripple acknowledged that they complement each other, right? So as long as it's going to do well for the XRPL, that's all I care about. All right, so now let's move on here. But that liquidity that you can generate with XRP, it ties into everything. It's going to be major, in my humble opinion, not financial advice. So now we're going to move on here. Now, this article is titled, wait a minute, bear with me one moment. Why did they change the title? I've seen this one time before where an article writer, they changed the title. A few minutes later, I guess this title gets better views. They probably tested it out and it got more attention than the other title. Now they changed it to a Bitcoin title, but it was originally an article about XRP. What did they do with the XRP article? I guess we have to skip this one, folks. Let's skip that article. Let's go here. My word, that's crazy. Why did they take down the XRP article? That's so strange. Well, we'll move on to this one. This article here is titled XRP News Today, SEC Case Updates, and Ripple Strategy Amid Fed Fears. It says here, Fed fear sinks XRP and the broader crypto market. Uncertainty about the Fed interest rate decision and economic projections impacted buyer demand for XRP and the broader crypto market. It says significantly, XRP ended the session at sub 49 cents for the first time since April 13th. What is it right now? Because I have no idea what it is. But let's continue on here. SEC versus Ripple motion to seal. There was no SEC versus Ripple case related news to influence buyer demand for XRP. Investors awaited the court ruling on the Ripple motion to seal. Ripple filed the motion to seal to, why did they say that? This must be a typo. It says Ripple filed the motion to seal non-public information. How do you use the same words twice in a row? Including financial statements and agreements with business partners. The SEC responded to the motion to seal, arguing that information considered in a court ruling should be a matter of public record. Disclosure of contractual agreements could affect future business dealings as Ripple expands its remittance business globally. However, the court ruling on the penalty for breaching U.S. securities laws will likely impact XRP more. It says the SEC filed its remedies related opening brief, pressing the courts for, the whole $2 billion penalty, all that nonsense. I never understand articles like this. Then they go into standard custody and the new hiring to lead stablecoin initiative. We covered that the other day. Yeah, I never understand articles like this. Okay, if there's nothing major that occurred, then why would you even formulate this? Like, I don't understand that. But all right. I guess those who weren't informed are now informed on those things. So now let's move on here. We had a little bit of Bitcoin news. Now, this article here is titled Bitcoin Miners Cash In on BTC Rally as Crypto Exchange Transfers Hit 2-month High. It says among those selling, Marathon Digital offloaded 1,400 Bitcoin worth nearly $100 million since the start of the month. $209 million, first bullet point, worth of Bitcoin transfers from miners to exchanges coincided with a move from $70,000 to $66,000. Marathon Digital has sold 1,400 Bitcoin worth $98 million since the start of June. OTC volume also spiked to a 2-month high. It says this, transfers from Bitcoin mining pools to exchanges reached a 2-month high this week as Bitcoin hovered around its local high, $70,000. According to a report by CryptoQuant, Selling via over-the-counter desks also spiked as miners looked to cash in on their holdings following the Bitcoin halving, which caused a drop in daily mining revenue. Miners sold at least 1,200 Bitcoin on June the 10th, highest daily total in 2 months. Since the prior day, miners sent more than 3,000 Bitcoin, $209 million, to exchanges, with the majority of that coming from the BTC.com mining pool into Binance. The spike in transfers coincided with a temporary correction in Bitcoin as it fell from $70,000 to $66,000 before rebounding days later. Yeah, Bitcoin, listen, I always feel like Bitcoin is going to bounce back. There's going to be corrections. There's going to be dips. You have things like this going on, other catalysts going on that are negative, but they never last. And there's so much bullish momentum behind Bitcoin. They haven't even, look, the other institutions that said they were going to get in, they haven't even jumped in with both feet yet. Can you imagine when they do, what will happen in Bitcoin's price when that occurs? And all people have to do is just read the news. That's all they have to do, and watch the catalyst. When you start hearing about more big companies getting involved with Bitcoin, obviously those are huge catalysts, right? And then, boom, you get that explosion. Now, how long that explosion will last, I don't know. I don't think it'll be long lived at all. I think there's going to be massive profit taking. Bitcoin, when you have Bitcoin at 85,000, 90,000, you're going to see the most ferocious profit taking of all time. There's going to be a lot of money made. So not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, just my thoughts. I think people better move quickly when it does happen. That's how I feel. I wouldn't take any chances to lose gains, to lose profits. I just wouldn't. That's just personally how I feel. This is daily revenue for miners stands at, wait, pause. Then did you see the video yesterday? I think it was the one yesterday. And I believe it was the regular video, not the members only video. I covered an article where a bank, a central bank, is praising Bitcoin. Did you see that? That's major. That's huge. They're testing the waters of unleashing Bitcoin on the masses. And what I mean by that, I mean, they're getting close, in my humble opinion, to letting everyone know, hey, crypto is okay. Go get some. That's how I feel. For years, they laid the foundation. Laid the groundwork of the idea, the energy, the mental energy that crypto is bad, crypto negative. And so the people have carried that to this day. Now that the institutions are getting in position, they're starting to flip the table, so to speak, turn the table and say and indicate, hey, crypto's good, but they're easing it in because they know people can't handle change rapidly. Majority of the people don't like rapid change, even though most change happens meteorically. So they're easing that idea into the minds of the people. But at some point, it won't be eased. And then they'll have their mainstream media telling the people, hey, Bitcoin is the best. Bitcoin is good. You see it starting to come out already from a lot of these big wigs, a lot of these institutional leaders. They're talking very, very good about crypto, and not just Bitcoin. There are a lot of them talking positive about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, even XRP. If that's not an indicator to where things are going, I don't know what is. So now, let's move on here. We have a little bit of Chainlink news. Let's find out what the link is doing. So this article here is titled Chainlink's CCIP protocol and automation now live on Gnosis. Chainlink is always doing something bullish. It says Gnosis developers can now outsource their heavy computing to Oracle network while reducing gas fees by up to 90%. Spokespeople said that's insane. Chainlink CCIP interoperability protocol and automation services are now live on the Gnosis network, the two entities announced on June the 12th. Gnosis users can now use Chainlink for cloud computing functions and offload heavy computing tasks to the Chainlink network while reducing gas fees by up to 90%. More importantly, Chainlink's CCIP protocol will allow Gnosis users to send messages, interact, and swap value across blockchains. Whoa. Philippe Schomers, head of infrastructure at Gnosis, expressed enthusiasm about deploying Chainlink CCIP protocol and automation services on Gnosis. And that's what I want. I want these types of people excited, because when they're excited, they tell their partners, they tell other companies, right? And they have massive influence. What does that equal? Because I'm here to make money off of Chainlink. I don't know about everybody else. I'm not here to be in love with the function of blockchain, although that's how you get to the money. But I'm here to make money off Chainlink. So that would mean if this person is excited and they tell other companies, or other companies ask them, hey, what system are you using? That's pretty good. You reduced things by fees by 90%. How did you do that? And then he says, hey, we're using Chainlink, and they begin using Chainlink. Theoretically, that's more value coming onto Chainlink. That's more transactions. Something else I want to say. Value. My apologies. That's more value coming into the Chainlink blockchain, and that could make Chainlink's price go up. I mean, listen, I think Chainlink has one of the most bullish futures ever. Listen, they're working with Swift. Where does that end? Swift is in a bad spot right now, which Brad Garlinghouse pointed out the other day that they continue to be in a very bad spot. So they're going to need Chainlink more and more. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But they're working with Swift, DTCC. They have one of the most they're right up there, in my humble opinion, with these companies like Quant is up there. You know, Ripple is up there. When you're not just bullish, I'm talking about super duper bullish. Yes, I'm pulling out the old school words. Super duper bullish. That's how I feel about Chainlink. But I could be wrong. Let's see. I don't know. I'm just speaking for myself. It says, quote, empowering Gnosis devs with cross-chain connectivity and verifiable compute enables them to develop powerful applications that solve real-world use cases. Ultimately, by providing mission-critical infrastructure, Gnosis and Chainlink are set to scale the Web3 ecosystem to mass adoption, unquote. That's another thing I like about Chainlink's team. They're very, very motivated, fired up. They believe in what they're going to do. They remind me a lot of Ripple with how they but they know they're going to dominate. I like that. Chainlink's CCIP protocol is rapidly emerging as the industry choice for cross-chain communication and interoperability. Wait a minute there. Yeah, they're doing well. They're doing well, but hold on a minute there, because Quant is up there. Quant works with the Bank of England. Quant works with the Bank for International Settlements. I have both, so I hope they both take off, but I'm just saying. They work with the Bank for International Settlements. Quant works with LEC Chain. Quant works with Nexi. They're up there. Yep, we're in the big leagues, folks. Yeah. It says blockchain companies, institutions such as the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, I just talked about them, DTCC, and even the Swift messaging system recognize Chainlink's power to transform the current financial system. I think we're going to see a lot more out of Chainlink, but it's been fun so far. So now let's move on here. Little bit of news here, little tidbit here, little piece of budget, US budget news, because we need to keep up with that. This is going to be impactful. Most people are not talking about it. This article is titled, US budget deficit hits 1.2 trillion. There's no one seeing anything wrong with that. I'm going to say it again. US budget deficit hits 1.2 trillion. People are happy with this. You satisfied with this? Oh, what are these governmental people doing? This is with fiscal year now 2/3 over. Net interest payments exceed spending on defense. And people want to tell me the United States is not in a bad spot. First, you have to acknowledge the problem before you can solve the problem. The numbers, the cumulative U.S. budget deficit has reached $1.2 trillion, with the federal government now 2/3 through its current fiscal year, driven in part by rising interest payments on the national debt. The deficit totaled $347 billion on the month of May, an increase of 44% from the gap in the same month a year earlier. The Treasury Department said Wednesday, when adjusting for the acceleration of certain benefit payments into May because June 1st fell on a non-business day, the increase was just 5%. So things are looking crazy. I just want to put that on your table because we need to keep up with this. All right. And we're going to end off here with this today. And then I have another members only video I have to make because I have two very, very potent articles for the members only section. Oh, yeah. So then I'm going to go up and begin making that. So it's getting darker. Is it supposed to rain? It's getting darker and darker outside. What's going on? Anyway, this article is titled China's Central Bank to Return to Gold Buying as Prices Ease. I just said this the other day. We had read an article and some article writer was like, oh man, they slowed down buying on gold. I said, when? When did they slow down buying on gold? Just because they paused for I'm talking about the shortest moment ever. They're going to go right back to it. There's no reason, there's no catalyst why they would not. And I said that they would continue record amounts of buying. Now look, boom, just like that. I mean, you look at the patterns of these banks, they're serious about it. There's a problem with fiat currencies. There's a problem with the financial system as the world knows it. So they have to collect as much gold as they can now while they can. Just like a lot of wise individuals collecting as much gold, silver, even platinum as they can, just in case, because there's something big happening. So anyway, now, and they want to protect their value. It says China, the biggest official sector buyer of gold, is expected to resume its bullion shopping spree once prices ease from the record highs hit in May, as the fundamental case for the metal remains, industry players said at a conference this week. After adding to its gold reserves for 18 consecutive months, official data from the People's Bank of China showed its holdings were unchanged in May, sending global spot prices down sharply on Friday. Quote, China's data did show a pause. Tiny, tiny little pause. They've been doing it for 18 consecutive months. They propped up the price. Not just them. There's a lot of other banks. So let's just put that on the table. Many, many banks buying massive amounts of gold. This is unquote. So it's reasonable to take just a littlest break. It says, but does it matter if they're going to continue anyway? It doesn't even matter at that point. It says David Tate, CEO of the World Gold Council, WGC, told Reuters on the sidelines of the Asia Pacific Precious Metals Conference in Singapore, quote, but they are just waiting and watching. If prices correct to the $2,200 per ounce level, they will resume again, which means the price is going to go back up. It says benchmark spot gold traded around $2,300 per ounce on Monday after its biggest daily drop in 3.5 years in the wake of China's data on holdings. The market hit a record of $2,449.89 per ounce on May 20th, driven by interest rate cut expectations and firm central bank buying. Fueled by geopolitical tensions, the PBOC controls the amount of gold entering China via quotas to commercial banks. It was the largest official sector buyer of gold in 2023, with net purchases of 7.23 million ounces. Here's another thing I want to say. I think a lot of banks understand that it's not just, and I'm going to insert this piece, it's not just the U.S. that has a banking crisis right now, you know, where there's over 300 banks that could collapse in the next year or so. It's not just the U.S. If you remember, there was a bevy of articles that came out about maybe 2 months ago that we read here about China's shadow banks. If you haven't read that already, you can do a little Google search on China's shadow bank problems. It's not just China. The U.S. allegedly has shadow bank problems. China has shadow bank problems. The financial system is in such a poor condition right now. I think protection is of the utmost importance. And that's what banks are doing. They're protecting themselves. You know, they know a massive collapse and contagion, quote unquote, could happen at any time. And they want to protect themselves, for lack of a better word. It says China's central bank added 60,000 troy ounces of gold to its reserves in April. A survey conducted by the official monetary and financial institutions forum showed that central banks plan to look at that. Not China. It says central banks, multiple, plan to continue to increase their exposure to gold in the next 12 to 24 months. If that's not the most powerful sentence in a long time, I don't know what is when it comes to gold. They're guaranteeing, but it doesn't mean it actually will take place, right? You can't trust these individuals, but this is what they're saying. So just going by what we're hearing, it's super bullish. That means the price is going to keep going up. Even when you have a dip, they're going to wait, watch, buy some more. Boom, it goes up, which then gives me pause and reason to consider all of those higher price predictions for gold and why prestigious or esteemed individuals will make such predictions. Like you have predictions like $3,000. You know, that's up there. And could it happen? Yes, it definitely could, especially if you have banks that collapse in the next year and a half or so. Gold could definitely skyrocket again. But knowing this, that the banks are literally saying they're going to continue to buy gold for the next 12 to 24 months, that is insanely bullish, in my humble opinion. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.